August 16th, 2011. I must say, I'm excited. I just got out of college, a fresh new face to the world of hotel and restaurant management. Though not really a prestigious degree or anything of that mark. It's from Princeton. I'm excited to start making some cash and getting my name out there. What really excites me though, is that I finally get to spread my wings. All my life I've been watched over by my parents so that I didn't screw up. Even in college they demanded that I call constantly. Well, those days are now over. I found a small little house and business hundreds of miles away in a small city. Though it's not what some would consider ideal considering I have an Ivy League degree. It's got that level of under the radar, off the chart kind of stuff that makes me eager. I just want to get away from so many people. The pressure of it all. Everyone watching you and waiting for you to mess up. It gets to a person. It's not that I hate people. I just hate the pressure and big city life that I've had ever since I was a kid. And the helicopter parents always telling me what to do and when. Some peace and quiet will do me a world of wonder. I get to see it tomorrow. And I'm bringing all I care to with me. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. I never want to see this city or anyone in it again. August 17th, 2011. I got to see this house today, and it's not quite what I anticipated. It's large, larger than you'd think, buried deep in the Arizona's backwoods, a couple of miles out of Jerome, Arizona. The opportunity itself was in the town, but I was okay with a small drive or bike ride every day. The scenery, well, it was straight desert as far as the eye could see, but the barrenness of it all was welcoming. If you kept to yourself, you were fine. No pressure to do anything or impress anyone. Perfect. No more extrinsic motivational drive to satisfy anyone else. I'm as fine as I can be. The house itself was old, like what you'd see in an Old West film. I'd enjoy living here. The simplicity was astounding, just what I'd been looking for. August 21st, 2011. I've begun settling in. I paid off the incredibly small amount of money the house cost, and checked out the business location. It was meager, but would work for a small eatery for the local folk. The people were nice, and everyone knew each other by name, so reputation would spread quickly. The house is incredible. There's an old dial phone and no internet to be seen. What's even more odd is that it seems to be in remarkable condition. No rust or anything like that. Like something from a time machine. It's barren and quiet. I think I may neglect my cell phone bill. Falling off the face of the earth is the only way I could really get into this kind of life. My parents couldn't understand that, so I guess I'll let them know before I cut the cord. Even has its own antique furniture. I didn't have to buy anything before moving in. August 22nd, 2011. I've settled in and set up a business. It's going well. Lots of customers despite the small town, and the atmosphere is awesome. Some may call it stale, but it feels like the Old West. The metropolis to the south isn't the best to have there, but no one really bothers us. It's like no one even knows we exist. I haven't talked to my mum or dad or anyone I used to know since a couple of days after my last entry. I don't know if they're worried or not, but they're gonna have a hard time finding me, which I'm okay with. The house is as great as ever, but it's odd. I keep waking up to noises in the house. Nothing big, small creaks and cracks from the floor, but I could swear I heard the furniture moving ever so slightly downstairs when I woke last night. Not only that, but this morning, there were scratch marks on the floor. September 20th, 2011. Business is going well. Getting sleep is easier now that it's cooling down outside at night. Having no AC is kind of a pain, but it is easier without that bill. Leaving windows open is such a nice solution. I love the Old West feel. Nothing of my past life remains with me, and it's kind of relieved a lot of stress. But it seems that that stress has a way of replacing itself. I keep getting woken up, almost nightly now, to something moving downstairs. It sounds like heavy feet on my old wood floor, and there's nothing I can do but sit in bed and hope it stops. I can't bring myself to go look. It'd be silly. There's nothing there. October 1st, 2011. Something is going on. I was skeptical at the noises, but now something is actually happening in my house. I walked downstairs this morning to a rat's body, its head a few feet away from the rest of its mangled corpse. I thought the cat might have done it, but I didn't have a cat. I was just so used to one that it was normal. Not a second after seeing that, I heard something behind me loudly plodding along the floor, but when I turned, I saw nothing. I don't know what to do. I'll keep writing what I see. Asking the townspeople is out of the question. They weren't as welcoming as I thought they'd be. Business is still going well, but if I piss off one person, I may as well pack up my stuff. October 13th, 2011. Now I know something's off. I've still been hearing the sounds, but when I woke up this evening, they were closer to my room. I cautiously got up to see what was going on. They'd never been upstairs before, and at the end of the hallway, I saw two large eyes staring back at me from the restroom. I froze, and after a minute, those glowing eyes looked away, but I was compelled to investigate. I grabbed my bat from my high school baseball and followed it, flashlight in hand. When I got there, only a small trace of blood in the sink remained. The wind blew violently and chilled me from head to toe, before I took a deep breath and went to bed. I didn't sleep, and I longed for the comfort of television until the sun came up. October 29th, 2011. Another omen, if that's what you could call it. Many would call me crazy, but this journal is my own. I bought a gun from a store in town yesterday, but almost as a threat, whatever keeps inviting itself into my house left me a present. A small cat's mutilated body was what greeted me early this morning, as I awoke to scratching sounds. It was almost devoured, as if its hungry captor had decided to take a few bites out of it before delivering it to me. I don't know what to do. It was angered that I bought the gun, but I don't feel safe without it. These omens have to mean something. These noises were after I set up my business, and the mouse was after I'd settled in and was doing well. And now this? November 3rd, 2011. I woke up to the sound of breathing early this morning, and when I opened my eyes, I saw the clock. 2:11 a.m. on the 3rd of the 11th, 2011. It was dark, but when I looked towards the foot of my bed, I saw a large creature with huge white eyes in the dim light standing over me. I can barely describe it. It bled fear. Huge eyes stared down at me as it stood above me, and a massive man with fur covered his body and blood covered his fur stood over me. He lifted something, showing it to me, before setting it down just below the foot of my bed. I lost consciousness, but I assume he left. November 2nd, 2011. I woke up my heart beating this morning. I could have sworn I heard breathing. I looked at the clock. 6 a.m. 2nd of the 11th, 2011. I must not have been awake when the other thing happened. It must really have just been a vivid dream. I said a small prayer, and I'm certainly not religious, but at that point, I was grateful to everyone alive and dead that I woke up. It didn't seem like a dream, and the fact that it gave me a time and date was even more terrifying. I'm not going to open the store tomorrow. I know for a fact I won't be sleeping at home tonight. November 4th, 2011. Not sleeping at home was a good idea. There were still sounds though, and when I woke up to pee in the night, I could have swore I saw big white eyes staring at me from the foot of my bed. But they vanished. Modern comfort saving me as I turned on the television and lights before taking my leak and going back to sleep. When I returned home today, however, I smelt something awful. I walked upstairs, and the smell only got worse, until I came to my room, and at the foot of the bed, There was a dead cat. There again. My dream had given me insight that the creature was showing me something. An omen. I'm sure now. This isn't normal. This place is beyond what I can say. November 6th, 2011. The townspeople don't believe me. I tell them of the omens and they just wave me off as if I were nothing. I can't turn to anyone for help. Less people are coming to my business, just as expected. I know I can't turn to my parents. I came here to leave, but I really want a hug. I dreamed again last night. It was the same creature, and the date was the 14th. Time, 3:03 AM. They just stood there, watching me before getting up and leaving. November 14th, 2011. I awoke last night, remembering what I'd seen in my dream. There were noises everywhere, so I grabbed my gun. I saw eyes staring at me from the hall. I must have stopped just before they came into my room. I looked at the clock, and it was only 2:45 AM, so I beat it. But I did see its dreadful eyes, low to the floor as if stalking before it ran off. When I looked back, it was gone. The solution was easy. If I didn't sleep, it couldn't get me. It was scared. I heard it howl at its failure, long and high into the night sky. November 16th, 2011. It's watching me, taunting me. I've stayed awake for 2 days now, but it knows I have to sleep sometime. I've seen it in town. The people, I know that they must be helping it. They know. And that's why they've ignored what I said. I was right not to trust anyone when I came here. They just want this thing to be fed. I've spent enough time with this kind of stuff to know. The internet is full of it. November 18th, 2011. I dreamed again last night. It showed the 6th of December on my alarm clock, at 12:06 AM. It watched me as I slept, and as I awoke and stared into its blank white eyes, it muttered something to me. I couldn't understand it. There was death in the house. The smell was familiar enough to me that, by that point, I understood what it was. And there were claw marks on the door. Huge, scary, imposing claw marks. It reached down for me, and I saw my own blood on the covers when I looked down at where it touched. It then reached down to bite into me, and I felt a screaming pain in my chest as I woke up. My sheets were wet, but it wasn't blood. I was embarrassed, but I knew what was to come. November 25th, 2011. More claw marks in the house, and more sightings of this thing outside. It was in the bushes, the trees, even the sky. It's haunting me. I haven't slept for days because I know that it doesn't have to wait until the 6th to come and get me. It wants me, and its patience is drawing thin. More claw marks, blood on the floor and mice in the bathtub, both dead and dying, with their blood covering the porcelain surface. Even a cat with its fur mangled, crying out as it crawled through my house. I killed it. If I can stop the omens from coming true, I can change what they want for me. I've run out of money, even for gas, and I know if I go outside to hitchhike, it'll pick me up and take me anyways. There's nowhere to go. November 30th, 2011. I'm excited. I have ammo for my gun, though only one shot after I saw it move in the brush outside my house. I hit it. I hit it a few times, but it still got away. I didn't get to see it, but that's okay. It's injured. It's only got a week to get better before its omens come and get me will have to come true. That's one I haven't tried to change. This last bullet will be its end. December 4th, 2011. I haven't slept in days, and it finally hit me that there may be more than one of this thing. I've boarded up my house and used up the last of my food. I know better than anyone that I can't leave. December 5th, 2011. I see it walking everywhere now. When I look at the town, I see it in the bushes, in the trees, in the sky, and in the desert. Even in my house. But it's not ready yet. It's set its date. December 6th, 2011. It came as I thought. I heard its claws and movement in the floor. My house is covered in claw marks, so it can't do much worse. I hear barking. It must be the sound it makes when it's ready to kill, but it won't get the chance. The house smells. I wait until I see the brim of its eyes at my doorstep, huge and white, though low like it was on all fours trying to stalk me. But I saw it. It won't get the chance. I hear it walk into the trap I set, letting out a whelp that was so familiar, but I knew that it wouldn't stop. The dark room lit up as I dropped the match, and everything lit up. I set it up right, just enough fluid to get everything going, including this beast and myself. I feel my skin burn as my bed catches, but watch as the whole house catches and this man beast let out a whelp. I'm putting this journal in my safe. But don't worry, world. You're rid of this creature once and for all. December 12th, 2011. This journal was recovered from a small safe inside a house that burned brightly last Tuesday early morning. It seems as though the owner committed suicide, as the only corpses found were of himself and a coyote caught in a makeshift bear trap. Though the doors seemed boarded even after the fire, there was a small hole to the outside in the living room, and all the windows were open. There were several dead animals inside as well, all with bite marks from coyotes in the area. Thank you for sticking around to the end. If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to leave a like. And if you want to hear more stories like it, don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon. That way you'll never miss a story. Oh, and if you haven't already, don't forget to follow me on Twitter so you can keep up with the latest goings on the channel.